And it's nice to have you back up here in the broadcast booth with us. Joking aside, let's talk about the game. That first half of action was tightly contested. I asked Jane about this a minute ago. What was that locker room conversation like?
Well, we understood that Hermon's a young team. They're inexperienced, but that doesn't make them a team that can't be dangerous, right? And they played a really good first half. They did some things to us that we just weren't comfortable with, and we weren't running through offensive sets. And, we're still trying to figure some things out here. I say a young basketball team. We're not young as far as school age, but we got a lot of guys that haven't seen a lot of time yet, and so we're really starting to get into that. And so the halftime speech wasn't a big screaming speech. There was no need to. With this group, you don't have to do that. But we talked about taking care of the basketball, running through our offense, taking the easy shot as opposed to taking the hard shot. Right? You take a high percentage shot, you got a better chance of making it. And those finally started to fall in the second half. We turned them over a little bit. The defensive intensity got a little bit better. And we were able to build a lead to a fairly comfortable but not so comfortable win. So
yeah, I talked about that halftime speech because the second half and third quarter especially, game kind of flipped on its head. You had 21 points in the first half. You had 21 points in the third quarter. So that's really where the game was made and changed completely. Jaden Richard, he had a night, but you had a lot of guys contribute well. Kind of talk a little bit, because I don't know if you've had this opportunity to talk about Jaden's leadership out on the court, especially the point guard position, and getting others involved as well. Kind of talk about his performance tonight and what he brings to your group as a whole.
Well, he and Caden have played a lot of basketball. Caden a senior and, of course, Jaden a junior. And they bring just that steady leadership. Jaden's he does some stuff where you're sitting, you're squirming in your seat like, what do you do? And then he'll put a shot in, So he does a lot of good stuff for us, and he's a fun kid to be around, easy to coach, understands the game, and tries to do what he can to make his teammates better. And so we're very fortunate to have a player like him on our team, and doing very, very well so far this season.
Yeah, and one other player we wanted to mention, because he almost got our Bangor big player of the game just based off effort, energy, intensity alone. Jackson Smith off the bench for you guys. He doesn't always get the limelight with the dirty work that he does out on the court, but we had him for at least 10 rebounds. And kind of talk about when he stepped into the game, the energy kind of picks up a little bit.
Yeah, and Jack's one of those players, he plays a pivotal role for our club. He comes off the bench, he gives us some scoring punch, but he gives us some toughness that, not say we don't have with our starters, but he gives us that little edge where he keeps plays alive. And so while he might not get a basket, he's keeping a play alive for Jaden or Caden or Adam or someone else to get a basket. So that's as good as scoring, right? It's just like an assist as far as that goes. So he does some really, really nice things for us. Not to just single him out, because it was really a good team effort tonight, but Jack did a real nice job off the bench for us this evening, as he does every night.
No, final question here for you, coaches. I'm sure we want to let you get to the locker room. Got a tough matchup against Dexter coming up, obviously with the vicinity, and that's always a rivalry game, so to speak, but it's also a big heel point game. Kind of talk about your thoughts and mindset. I know you've been focused on today and getting through this one, but the thoughts and mindset heading into that game, which I'm sure is going to be tough and competitive.
We got to play better than we did tonight. If we don't play better than we did tonight, Dexter is going to take it to us. Very simple. They're well coached. They are well drilled. Will Kuzniers is one of the best players in the state, let alone Class C and in our vicinity, right? And they have some good role players around him. I tend to think that it's going to be a big crowd. I tend to think our guys are going to come with a little bit more energy on Thursday night, and I'm looking forward to a really, really good high school basketball game. If you like high school basketball, I know over on the bench, and the blood pressure goes up, and you scream and you lose hair and you lose sleep at night. But if you're a fan, come watch that game on Thursday night. I think it's going to be a good one.
Having played in some of those games, they are so fun. So definitely stay tuned for that. Coach Toby Nelson, want to thank you for joining us on the broadcast.